Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to see a very important topic, which is internal workings of container architecture. Now, this gonna give you a different view on your container, Docker container at this moment. Now, I can say this is unique, much unique for Docker container. So you can actually use this example for Docker container, especially. So this is something which comes as part of Docker engine. Now, Docker engine is as people would assume that it's not a single package. So you cannot actually install Docker engine by yum install -y Docker engine. It's not going to happen like that, because Docker engine comprises of multiple software, and each softwares contribute towards working together with Docker engine. So Docker D is first something called Docker daemon. So when you are installing Docker, you cannot run Docker after installing Docker. I'll show you on the hands-on session as well, because while you are installing Docker, you need to ensure that you have the Docker service started, which means that this particular Docker D will be running as a background process. When you do a ps-ef grep of Docker, you will see Docker D running on the background. Now, when you have that running, then only you can issue the client commands like Docker pull, Docker build, Docker images, Docker blah, blah, blah. So without having the Docker D running, if you're planning to execute any of the Docker commands with some values of execution, your commands are going to fail, and it's going to say like, is Docker running with a question mark? Is Docker D running with a question mark? It would be asking you. So which indicates that you need to have the service running, and to have that service installed, you need to have this particular Docker D installed. Okay, so that Docker D comes in as a package of Community Edition, Docker CE, which is basically your Docker Community Edition, where you will have the Docker D daemon as part of it. The next one is going to be Docker CLI. It's where you execute all your command line interface. And then you have the OCI and CRI, which is Container D, which is over here at this level. Don't worry, it's CRI is not mentioned, but it also has CRI feature over here as discussed earlier. So CRI feature includes connecting to orchestrator. So that's what Kubernetes is coming over here. Now, instead of Kubernetes, Docker more preferred now to connect with the Docker Swarm. The Docker Swarm is in-house Docker made orchestrator. It can help you orchestrate or manage your containers. So that is something which you should remember. So there's another product over here which is launched by Docker called Docker Swarm, and that's used for orchestration if you're using Docker. So more or less, if someone is using Docker, your customer is using Docker, it is much advisable to go for Swarm. If not, if they don't want to go for a corporate where they have to pay money for this, because it's not free for any company which has more than 250 employees, this is enterprise service, which means you need to pay, you need to shell some money for this. So if you don't want to pay, you want to be on open source, then you can use the Docker with the Kubernetes. Now again, Docker again will become a paid one if you are having a big company. Then you have to replace Docker with Podman. So Podman is going to help you. So this is another container which is something which we will talk. So Podman will help you in terms of building your container instead of Docker. Okay, so that is going to be free, and the Podman is designed for Kubernetes. Okay, and then you can replace Container D with Cryo, and that way you can have an alternative which is an all-free solution for your container and orchestration. So the basic thing about OCI is that it pulls images, build images. We've seen that, and CRI is basically it connects to container orchestrator and take commands from orchestration, and then sends it to the runc. Now runc is going to execute all these container processes. It's going to take the run command and it's going to execute that using runc, and then it's going to use the namespace and control group to control your containers. Sorry, I got lost for a second. Now, there are a few things which you should know. First is the Dockerd. So if you use any of the client commands over here, you have to use Dockerd over here, because it goes and connects to Dockerd, and Dockerd executes through containerd and container to runc to all your containers. So this is the hierarchy or the procedure of how it works. If you are connected with container orchestrator directly connects with your CRI, and CRI goes to runc, and runc goes over to blah blah using the namespace and control groups. That's all I have for you folks in this video. I hope that you understood a little more information how your Docker works in terms of working with Docker. So this is pretty much about Docker. So when we are talking about Podman, I will explain you the architecture for Podman and comparing that with Docker. Okay, so don't worry about it. Everything is covered as part of this training. I'll see you in the next video.